Whose idea was that? How come I wasn't aware of this intro?
Why would you need to be? It's amazing.
This is your doing?
Rock
You side messaged Danny to make sure you got it.
No, Danny just knows me very well.
Oh, boy.
And he knows greatness when he sees it, which is The Rock.
All right. I get it. I'm good with it.
Speaking of The Rock, Joe.
Yeah.
I watched a really nice YouTube video of The Rock with the LA Lakers talking about mindset.
And
I'd like to talk a little bit about it.
Is this our first topic? We're getting right into it.
We're just going right into it, Joe, because usually we just meander a lot.
Yeah.
But The Rock brought us in. So anyways, I was listening this morning. Yeah, maybe you'll post a link on it somewhere underneath the video here. And he was just talking to the LA Lakers about his mindset and how weightlifting and everything anchors him.
Okay.
And I was getting to think about mindset. I have a new kid now. You know, he's 4 weeks old.
Did you pre-plan this whole speech?
No, I'm just going with it. I pre-planned nothing. We know this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Go.
So now I lost my train of thought. Thanks. So I'm going and I'm like, when we talk about, and I think my wife was telling me, she's like, what's important, like an important lessons you want to give to him? I'm like, you know what? It's all about, I think the number one thing is mindset. We could talk about weightlifting. We can talk about training. We can talk about everything.
I get where you're going.
And you know what, Joe? And I said to her, and I told her the story, and then I'm like, I have to credit that I learned this from Joe. Because you know me, I'm kind of a negative person.
Absolutely. But you've been better. You've definitely been better over the years.
I've been better. Yeah, I'm not. I used to be like really negative, but I've changed that because I've realized how, mindset works, and you can change as a person. So I was telling her this story, and I'm like, when me and Joe started training, 12, 13, no, it started so like 15 years ago. I'm like, you were fighting out of community centers and stuff. And it was fun. We're like, yeah, man, we're going to win the Ontario title. It's going to be crazy.
So amazing.
The Camtal title is going to be nuts. Shout out to Camtal, which was amazing. But anyways. And then I remember you'd sit down and you're like, Costa, I'm going to fight in Japan at a big stadium for, K1 at the time.
Yeah.
Costa, I'm going to fight, we're going to do this. This is going to,
at that
be
point,
the best
I think I wanted to fight Buakaw. I wanted to fight all the big names, man. Zambides.
Yeah. With Yost Clay around yet? I don't know. I'm like, yeah, Joe, sick. I'm like, whatever. Like, it's a good idea, but I'm just trying to win this community center fight here. What is it? Nationals or whatever nonsense. But then look at that. Fast forward a few years, you did it. And it's like, but it's not only, but what people don't understand is, there's something about saying it, but there's something different about believing it.
Exactly. You can try to do it, but if you don't believe it genuinely, and I think even with that cost, and you hit the point where I see it in people right away. I mean, you can tell when someone's like, once you give them that fight, like, okay, you're going to fight someone with that much more experience than you. Their first reaction tells so much. It's everything. And most guys don't have that mindset. And I think that's where my biggest strength was. And you're right. I mean,
and the thing is, you put it into practice. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to win the lottery. Oh, I'm going to be, the best. You went in there and you took that mindset into training every single day. And another guy who does that, Arnold Schwarzenegger, same thing. You listen to all his speeches and he says the same thing. He's like, I visualized what I wanted and I went in every day with a purpose when I was training with that end goal. And I didn't leave until I felt like I was one step closer to that. The Rock, he's like, I had to visualize what I wanted in my life. I had to try everything. I had to go into it. These are the people that succeed. And I think that's what people need to know when they're going into the gym, when they're putting out a training plan. What am I coming in here for?
Yeah.
What am I doing? It doesn't matter. It's like, pick a goal. Am I trying to lose 10 pounds and make it specific? Am I trying to gain 10 pounds of muscle? Am I trying to
you need
home
focus.
Runs?
You need the focus. I think there's too many branches and you never accomplish anything that way. And that's huge in the weight room. How many times people just go into the weight room and do nothing? They're basically just go and do a whole bunch of random exercises that they saw. I mean, I don't know.
Put a goal in. I want to bench 225. Easily. I want to bench.
You have to
if
do
you're
that.
starting it, I want to bench 125.
I got to give you huge credit, and I think people don't do this enough, is keep a log. You're the biggest one on writing logs, man, because that to me motivated me. I liked going back in my notebook to check what my lifts were, what I was getting before, what I wasn't. So that motivated me a lot. I
Because
mean,
Joe, what gets measured gets done. How do you know you're getting better if you're just going in and saying, I feel like doing this today. Let's go in.
what?
You know,
For sure.
come on, man. Like, and then you go back again. It's that you go in there with that mindset. And I see people when they're in the gym, they're sitting on their phones. They're farting around. They're talking to their bros. And if you're going in there to have a good time and have a good whatever, more power to you. But if you're going there to be serious, be serious.
Well, yeah.
Lift. Go. Have a
Well, that
purpose.
should be
Do it.
everybody too, even the regular fitness people. It's the same thing. Why are you going in? You're basically doing nothing. But
They want to take Instagram pics of themselves. They want to take booty shots
but
or peak
you
checks.
can't rip on them too much. At least they're trying. At least they're there. I mean, not everybody wants to be a world champ.
Hold on. Hold on. I didn't say.
I knew it was going.
Let's back the truck up a bit.
I knew I'd get
Let's
you.
back the truck way back. I said it doesn't matter what your goal is.
Yeah.
Have a goal.
No, we're
if you're
obviously
in there,
talking
I
about
admire.
performance. We're talking about sports performance, obviously.
No, but you know what? A lot of people are listening to this and they never step in the gym. I admire people. If I see someone in there who doesn't know what they're doing, I admire them being in the gym trying. I think that's great. I never make fun of someone for getting there in the gym. I think to try and better themselves, that's great. But go in there and have a goal.
Yeah.
I'm the people I chirp are people who are in there just to put themselves on Instagram. Like, are you serious, bro? Like, come on, smarten up. But then we go back to mindset. We go back to championship mindset, and I laugh because I see who. And I think back to your career, and I see we're like, yeah, let's go in against Murat Durecki. One of the most accomplished fighters of all time, Joe. I have a few professional fights. They're like, they set you up in there as a can, and no one in the world thought you were going to win except for you and me and our team. But you believed it. You weren't scared of this guy, and you went in there and you dummied him. And then every match, you went in there against Nikki Holskin. You went in there against Raymond Daniels. You went in there against Kareem Gaji.
Is this a whole Big Up Joe podcast? I like it.
No, but I want people to understand. And you know how much I hate bigging you up because it gets to your head.
I know, but I'm liking it.
But I want people to understand and use the example that the mindset, you have to believe it. And I see this bullshit of The Secret and, believe you can do all this.
Part of
nice
it.
stuff.
The law of attraction is something. You have to, like you
I
said,
don't
I
believe in
thought
that
about
stuff,
it, but if I thought about Japan and it happened, that is the law of attraction.
Yeah, but it's not some mystical force. It's not you're putting it out in the universe. If you want to say that, it's fine, but it's not some magical force.
Believing it.
You're putting it into your head and you're setting a goal and you're believing that and you're getting yourself to that goal and that's positive thinking but applying it in your training is if you just think you're going to do it and then just don't do anything
I think the key so we can move on from here is I think people need to start with smart goals. Ones that actually make sense and, like you said, had a purpose, but smaller ones as well. I think again, it shouldn't necessarily have to be to win a world championship. It's nice, that's the end goal, but like you said, those small steps are key. Like this week, I want to lose 1 pound. This week, I want to add 5 pounds on my squat. Like those smaller goals help you keep motivated and keep making you feel better and keep wanting to do it, right?
Yeah, and then look at you when you transitioned from your kickboxing. It's afterwards you're like, why am I in here? Like I've got nothing to do until you kind of gave yourself these goals to do something. Then your training really went to the next level.
I think there's a lot of other factors. Like I gave up my life for the sport. A lot of people don't want to give up friends and parties and going out. Yeah, I did that too. But man, the life's not easy. I did 2 full careers. I had to work, and it's the sacrifice I think a lot of people don't have. It's that drive, man. When I fought,
you thrive on that structure, though.
But even now, like look at me now. I mean, and I tell my fighters, I'm like, why am I in better shape than you? Why am I more obsessed with my training than you? Like, I don't have a fight book, but I said that's the mindset of a martial artist. That's the mindset.
You know what makes me sick, Joe?
But why am I in better shape than most of these fighters? And like, why am I more obsessed with it? Why do I want you to exceed more than you want to do? Like, come on.
I'm calling out these guys. Good, call them out, man, because I see these guys farting around and sparring, putting it on Instagram. I'm not calling out your guys. I'm calling it out in general. I see on Instagram. I follow it. And I see them fart. They're like, oh, I want to be in Glory. I want to be in UFC. And they're sitting around talking, laughing. They're training for an hour a day. It's a damn joke. You people think this is a joke, man. This is serious. This is not just a career where you're going to school and you're going out and doing something easy. This is to be the best in the world at something. Do you have any idea how hard it is to be the best in the world? Be better than a billion other people? Be an hour in a day training, going and eating at a pub after, not paying attention to your diet, farting around, sparring at like half speed, not half power, half speed, because you can go full speed, half power, talking with your friends. Like, are you kidding? Do you understand what we went through with Joe to get to that
But
level?
that's
Like,
why
no
there's
one
only a few world
understands.
champions, Cos. You can't rip on everybody, but I mean, that's
I get
why
mad at
there's
people
world
who have the genetics
champions.
and don't put
I
it
mean,
in,
if
Joe. And I
if
have a few
everybody was
examples.
like me, and then being a world champion wouldn't mean anything. So
You know what makes me
thanks
mad?
for all
Wasted
those lazy
talent, Joe.
people out there. No.
I'm not calling out anybody specifically, but we both know who we're talking about. A few
Oh, there's so
people,
many people
about
that
people
have the
who
potential
have
that
the
don't do it.
talent and waste it. And I see it in the gym, and I'm like, are you kidding? I would kill to have your talent. What I would do
For
to
sure.
set myself up for life
And even
if I just had a quarter your talent.
when I mean, Costa works with a lot of other baseball players and a lot of other professional sport athletes that make millions of dollars. And here there's me, like I was training harder than most of these guys as an amateur, not making anything. And even
Oh.
these guys have all this money being dangled in front of them and they don't want to put that work ethic in. I mean,
If I could put your
it's
drive into some of these guys, like it would
ridiculous.
just I don't understand it. And then they wonder why, oh, I can't do this, and then they blame it on somebody else other than themselves. People love to blame others other than themselves.
Bro,
Again, going back to
what
mindset.
really got you pissed off, man? Are you like, is it just you hyped up? Is this the speech you're gonna give your son when he's older? What are we doing here?
I don't know. The Rock got me fired up because I love The Rock.
Did you
Joe.
watch
But
Any
then
Given Sunday and Al Pacino hyped you up? What are you going here? I like it.
I think Any Given Sunday's fake. The Rock is the guy who did it. Dwayne Johnson. He did it, and he
Okay.
tells you what he did to do it, and people just think these guys have haters, which is hilarious.
For
Like
sure
people
they
hate on
do.
The Rock. Are you kidding? People hate on Arnold. Like these guys did it, man. What are you hating on? They did it. Like you would kill to be in their position, and they didn't do it. There's no such thing as an overnight success. People say, "Oh, this guy was success overnight." You haven't seen the 10 years that it took a minimum for what they did to get there. You just see the successful part because that's the part that gets in the media. But there's no such thing as an overnight success.
Nice, Cost. Can we get moving?
All right, that's my story for that. I don't know. I thought it was important.
It
I
was
like talking about
important, but I think they got the point.
it. All right.
I think everybody got
What's
the
next?
point, or else we can repeat ourselves again. You
All
promised
right.
everybody, and you promised me personally, that you weren't going to go off topic too much today. You wanted to stick per topic, and you weren't really
That was a
happy.
good time. I
You
stuck
weren't
on the
happy.
topic.
I know you were
mindset.
good, but last week on the last episode, it was our trial. I mean, we got to tell
Yeah.
people that it wasn't there to be our best episode, so hopefully production and everything gets better in these videos. And
I need a background,
wow,
Joe.
mine's
This white
terrible.
background.
I have my blind right now. I tried setting up a nice backdrop of the city, but no, it's not happening.
That'll be
Reflection.
heavy. Oh, I know that picture. Yeah, that'll be nice, but it reflects. No, I need like a nice stand up.
I need something. It's terrible.
Yeah.
But
Anyways.
so I filmed some videos today. I did 3 more.
Oh, yeah.
So I have next week all coming out. So next week we're gonna have 3 more videos coming out. Push, pull, and lower body.
Nice.
Nice. And yeah, just variations. Costa, you gave me some new ones to add, so I added those today. And yeah, you have anything to say about it?
I have to see them. I like the videos.
But
They're nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gave you a variance. What are we gonna say? Just watch the videos.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we got to encourage people to maybe ask questions, because I don't want to explain it. I feel there's so many videos on people explaining how to do.
You know what makes
deadlift
me
or
laugh,
squat.
though, Joe? You know what makes me laugh?
We
You throw out
it's
all this
rant too?
content.
Okay, let's go.
Look, you throw out all this content. You throw these videos out, and people are like, they're like, and I'll see under your comments, Joel, can you lay out a program for me step by step?
Yeah, those are the
It's like,
worst.
yeah, man, I'm gonna take this time for
free.
Tino from New Jersey or wherever the hell, and yeah, for free. Let's just say, yeah, man, I'll get you some.
Hold on a second. Let me email you
That's what the
everything.
videos are for. Like, come on, come up and train at Bazooka Kickboxing if you want. Like,
They have to understand it. It's just ridiculous. But even friends, when they
get it.
ask you, how annoying is it when a friend comes up to you and they see you at a party and it's like, hey, can you write me a program?
the worst, Joe.
I
The
hate
worst.
it.
If I was
There's
a
nothing I
doctor,
hate more in my life than people asking me for a nutrition plan, because one, they're never going to do it, or a workout plan that they're never going to do anyways. So what the frick's the point?
why? But why am I going to give that out for free? Like, are you kidding me?
Well,
Like,
I'm talking friends or family too.
Bro, if I'm a lawyer, if I'm a doctor, you think I'm going to do that stuff for free? Why is training valued less? You don't value the investment, and you're not going to do it anyways.
True.
First of all, if you give somebody something for free, you've now set the value of it. Like, I'm sorry, there has to be an exchange of cash, because to that person, if they exchange money, they're most likely to stick to it. And
Yeah.
honestly, this is not a charity. We don't do this. It's a business. Just like fighting's a business, just like training's a business. And it's like these people, the photographers, people try and get them to do it for free. Everybody thinks that people got to make money, man. This is how you feed your families. This
It's
is
your life.
how you do it. Yeah, it's not a joke.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Anyways, I don't know.
So yeah, 3 more videos coming out. Another push, pull, and lower body day. Some variation.
Did you do the prowler? Did you do the prowler in the one today?
But I didn't go crazy. I know you wanted me to go extra hard, but
because this is what people want to see on the internet. They don't care about accuracy, Joe. They want to see you pushing a prowler and throwing up and saying crazy. We go hard.
Let's say okay.
They don't want to see the real way.
I'll go puke on the next one.
Yeah, it's it's the old school prowler.
Come make an appearance with me in one. Let's do it. You can talk into one or.
Yeah, man. Just how far I live.
I don't know. It's your fault. Whose fault is that?
It's a real estate prices in Toronto fault. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It's not paying your trainer's fault.
That's funny. Okay, so I think Danny got some questions for us. We'll answer that, and then I want to ask you about another topic that you're going to laugh at after, because I keep asking you every week, and I do want to talk about it because I got asked again, and it's driving me nuts. And I keep telling people,
try that now. I'm excited.
What is it? The training mask.
Oh,
I know, but I got asked today, Costa, and I keep telling people it's going on the podcast. Wait for it. I don't want to give it out. So I got asked again, and if I get asked one more time, I'm going to freak out. And this way, you can answer for everybody, because
marketing's a beautiful thing.
Okay, but first things first. We at one point, when I was supposed to fight Mark Debunking, it was supposed to be in Denver, and I'm wearing the Denver shirt. Hold on, I'm pointing the wrong way because it's on the camera. It's reversed. But yes, we're supposed to fight Mark Debunking in Denver. And I actually bought a training mask because you told me to.
Yeah.
And
I said maybe this is a good idea.
And then I trained with it once, and then
I told you to stop it.
Put it back in the box, and I still have
here's
it.
What happens.
Dust.
All right, here's what happens.
Science. I want to hear from right down.
Here's what happens.
What's happening.
Okay, here's what you see something out there. You're like, okay, maybe it's a good idea, and then you do something novel, Joe, that people don't want to do. You research it from actual sources, a bunch of sources, and then you learn, and then you're like, maybe not such a good idea. Why? Here we go. Instead of just taking it, sick, hardcore. The problem with the training mask, here's what it tries to do: is it tries to train you in elevation. It tries to mimic training in elevation by restricting your oxygen supply. It's not how it works. But when you train in elevation to increase endurance, what that does is it increases your red blood cell count and your efficiencies and whatnot. The only way to do that, the body has to adapt to the oxygen and the pressure of being at altitude. The only way a body can adapt to that is if it is like that at altitude with pressure and thinner air, not just restricting your oxygen, over weeks and months, 24/7. Not the 45 minutes you put on your training mask and you can't breathe. And what you're doing with that, when you're not being able to breathe properly, is you're actually affecting the way your body can recover.
Well, there's no oxygen delivery.
Yeah, which is exercise post-oxygen recovery. It's the EPOC. I don't know the exact term. Someone will probably send it, whatever. But what that is after you've exerted yourself, your body takes in oxygen to help recover. And the way so you want to recover, you want to get better, you want to recover as quick as possible. And if you're inhibiting your recovery, you're not getting better. Again, you're overtraining, and you're not getting that red blood cell action. You're not getting that pressure change. It's just marketing bullshit. But you know what? People will still buy it and do it and go nuts.
I was listening to TJ Dillashaw, I want to say, and it was on, I think, Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about how, I guess one of his trainers said, to get the most effectiveness with the altitude is you should train low and sleep high. Does that make any sense?
No, to get the most effectiveness at altitude, you should train at altitude.
Okay, because that's what they were saying. It's actually not the case. So I don't know if you heard or anything like that. He says it's better to train in lower altitude and just sleep in the higher one for some reason. But I mean, every boxer goes up to Big Bear to get all their training camps in, and it must be working. It's been happening for years.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Train at altitude. Yeah, that's good. That actually itself, you'll get that effect. But And it's not as big of an effect as you think. Like, it's not like, I mean, it's not going to mimic EPO, which is kind of next level what they do. It's
Isn't that
illegal drugs.
considered like the blood doping?
Yeah, blood doping. That's what they try and mimic, and EPO is extremely effective. Look
Is
at all
that
the
what
bicycle tests.
Lance Armstrong was, right? The
Yeah,
blood
and
doping.
most bikers in the Tour de France, they all got popped for it.
And
And
break it down
it's
for me.
unbelievable.
I have an idea what and how they do it, but let me know how it goes.
It's a drug that just increases the amount of oxygen that you can
So they
go
get
in
their
your.
own blood, they extract from their own blood, and then they inject it in.
That's a different thing. So to beat the test, they extract their own blood, inject it in, and after the
So
test,
what's the
it's a whole
EPO
thing. I
then?
don't
What's
want to.
EPO?
EPO is the actual drug that you put into your body, and it helps you
Okay.
become more efficient with your red blood. It's extremely dangerous. I would say to everyone, don't. You can do whatever you want with your own body. I don't care, but it's extremely dangerous. I would recommend against it. But the reason that these guys use it is because once you dope with it, you can go on forever. You can, because the Tour de France is probably one of the hardest endurance events in the world. You're basically, it's insane for a month every day, or it's ridiculous. I don't know how these people do it undoped, but most of them are. But it's you can bike and you can feel like you're not even doing it. It's unbelievable, and it's but like I said, it's extremely dangerous. It's not something you want to mess
Mhm.
with, and I would recommend against that. It's not natural. It's not something that has a medical benefit. It's pure performance, and but when millions of dollars on the line and your future, your family, what are you gonna tell
Yeah.
these people, right?
I mean, and I always get asked, and one of the other questions I get asked a lot is what supplements? And I mean, I kind of tell people that we really weren't big into supplements.
No,
I mean, everyone now feels that placebo effect, and everybody has the GNC effect, we can call it. The
here's
GN
my problem with supplements, Joe. Because people will ask me about supplements before they got their diet and training dialed in. If your
Absolutely,
diet and training is dialed in, yeah, okay, take some vitamin
absolutely.
D. We're all deficient in vitamin D. Take some protein if you want. Fish oils are great for some performance. It depends what sport you're in. I think creatine is very good. There's a lot of
I've been
studies
on it quite
promoting its
often. Yeah.
effectiveness.
Even for the
Yeah,
brain, they're saying even for
yeah.
brain functioning, creatine's amazing. So
Yeah, it has a lot of benefits. I mean, you hold a little water for it, so if you're cutting weight, you want to be careful. But it's got a lot of
and they're
benefits.
saying
Those are the
they're saying it's
supplements
one
you
of the
stick
best
to.
ones that work, right? It's one of the only supplements that work, they say.
Creatine works. Yeah,
Yeah.
creatine absolutely works. I've used it. It's great. Very safe. It's legal. So multivitamins, I'm not big on because
You're taking
um,
more of what you need. Like sometimes you're not taking what you need and you just keep pissing it out anyways, right?
I just look at multivitamins. No studies have ever shown that multivitamins have any effect. And actually, some studies have shown that they are that they not dangerous, but they can have the opposite effect that they can't be that they could have
Hmm.
that they're not good for you. So until I see something where that they have a positive effect, I'm going to say you're just having expensive piss. But vitamin D, especially if you're in a colder country, it's definitely helps.
Yeah,
I found out I was
me
deficient in
too. Me too.
vitamin D, and I started taking it, and I feel better.
Oh yeah, me too. Me
So
too.
yeah, so there's a lot of studies behind that, so that's good.
But I mean, if it
Again,
just gets
supplements are
carried
not
away,
important.
man, it just gets
Yeah,
too
they're
carried
not
away.
important.
Do you need branch change during training, then pre-workouts, and then you need post-recovery electrolytes,
Joe, you
post-workout
know why?
protein, then you need. It's just too much. It's way.
You know why though? Because people think that taking supplements is like taking juice. They're like, oh, I'm
Placebo,
taking
the
a
GNC
stack. Yeah,
effect that I called it.
yeah. They're like, okay, I'm taking these pills. It's like juice. Like, no, you're not. You're not taking juice, and you don't want to be
I
taking
also think
juice.
it's funny too because that placebo effect can play with you. So, know how many times I've given CBD to people, or I've heard stories of people take CBD and there's zero THC in it, people, zero. And they'll
Yeah.
take it and they sit there and they wait for this reaction to happen, this magical thing. And then all of a sudden they convince themselves that they're high. And I mean, it happens
It's
so
like when
many
you were a
times.
kid, Joe, and you're like 15 and you take a drink
And you're like, oh my
and you're
God,
like,
I'm
oh
so
man, I'm hammered,
drunk.
bro.
Oh my God, I'm so high off of the CBD. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
hilarious.
ridiculous. But I mean, it plays. But at the end of the day, you got to say that placebo effect works, right? If you think
Oh,
anything works,
100%.
it works. So there
Again,
is
you're going
some
back to your
medicine from
positive
it.
mindset from back in the day,
I
from
like
like what we
it.
touched on earlier, Joe.
Boy, we're referencing now.
Yeah, see, circled back.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that's my thing on supplements. I think some have thing, but they're not a magic bullet. Get your diet, your training, get your goals. I think writing down your goals is more important,
Yeah.
Joe. That's my theme for the day
That's
than supplements.
But I mean, from what we took, let's tell people what I took throughout my training camp, because I mean, I think we had a very basic thing. We didn't go crazy, but I mean, I still feel, and you're big on electrolytes. We still need an electrolyte after training,
Yes,
and
because
we'll still.
I don't think that's a supplement. I don't think
Well,
I
I
think
think
that's just
people would
recovery drink.
consider it. I think people consider
Yeah.
it.
Okay, yeah,
I
I
think
think that
people
that's
would
important
consider that a
post drink.
supplement,
But
because
what people do a lot is they'll go and lift for a half an hour, or they'll do like
and then they
they'll
have a
do some
protein
stretching.
shake, and then they have to
Yeah.
have their post
Sugar
workout, pre
Gatorade, man.
workout. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, Gatorade you don't recommend because it's all crappy electrolytes and sugar, right?
You know what? If it has its place. If you have an intense session for 2 hours and you're smoked, you got to replace the sugar. You got to replace the salt. That's all it is, sugar and salt.
Yeah.
So I mean, take a Gatorade, fine.
But what would you recommend? We took BioSteel a lot.
BioSteel's good because BioSteel's got good ingredients. I recommend taking good ingredients, and I mean BioSteel's great. It's a little bit pricey, and it's not available in all countries, but I recommend that. But if you don't have anything, then Gatorade is whatever.
What's your take on because I've been intermittent fasting? That's where I lost my 10 pounds, by the way. I sometimes during my fast, I'll add a pinch of Himalayan sea salt to my water, and I find that I can train fine on it. It helps retain that little bit of water. You good with that?
Salt's good.
Just straight Himalayan salt or whatever, just a little salt and water. Would that work as an electrolyte replacement?
Yeah, you need some sugar too because you got to replace some carbs. I don't care. Salt is salt, man.
Then what else did we take? We took a regular fish oil, but you made me cut it out about a week or two before the fights.
Did I? Oh yeah, because we really had to cut every little calorie.
Every calorie we're looking to cut.
Yeah.
But overall, I think that's basically all we took, and we had well-balanced meals to go with it.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out some of your fights, and I'm not saying that they were in glory, but we had to fight people from other countries where testosterone was legal, and anabolics were legal, and they are not in Canada. And we play clean, and
Where did this come
I'm not
from?
convinced.
Oh.
I'm just saying that you did
know.
it clean.
I know.
You may or may not have faced guys who were never tested and were from countries where you could get it over the counter and didn't pass the eye test. But, we did it clean. So, kids, you can do it clean.
Exactly. Hard work. Mindset,
hard work.
Positive.
Genetics.
And give up your life for kickboxing.
One day we'll talk about drugs in sport.
Yeah,
that'll be an interesting one. That's a whole show.
I think it's an important one, but I think we should. I think it's a good topic. Yeah, no, we'll definitely save that, and we'll blast out a nice conversation on that.
Yeah.
What else has been coming up? You were excited about that boxing fight, the Crawford fight.
Crawford's sick. Here's what I like. I watch,
but were you into the hype of the weigh-in where you almost where the scrap went down? Did that help anything?
No. But I see why they do it. Makes sense. You're trying to like we were talking about for the Khabib fight. It's just you're trying to build interest. That's the only way you can build interest.
But that
sports
looked real
entertainment.
Because Crawford cracked him.
I think he missed him, Joe. Did he hit him? I didn't see the slow mo. It was a nice back, but Crawford's no joke.
They're saying he's pound for pound best. No, aren't they calling him out as one of the pound for pound?
I would say him and
but
Loma.
Him and Loma. I heard Loma's going to be fighting Garcia.
That'd be sick. But here, you look at Crawford. He came from nothing, man. These guys come from nothing, and look what they've done in their lives. It's unbelievable. What a testament to like hard work and whatever, and obviously genetics. But like he could have went from, and they talked a little bit about his upbringing before the match, like where he lived and how tough it was, and these guys could have went to the wrong way. They could have been dead. They could have been in jail, but this guy's now the world champ. This guy's making millions of dollars.
Oh, I love it.
And so no one has excuses, man. Like you're not fine. There's only one world champ and he's got the genetics, but there's ways to do it. And it's just like the grind. But If you look at Crawford and you
I'm
look at
sorry,
all these
I'm
top
laughing.
fighters,
You're gonna be rewatching it, and you're gonna be seeing me just giggling and smiling the whole time.
I
I'm like,
never
what
watch
did you?
myself, Joe.
I'm like, what did you read? Did you read like the whole Tony Robbins collection before you started coming on here, man?
I
Because
don't like Tony Robbins, Joe,
this
and
is
people
this
might. I don't like him.
this is a new
Here's why I don't
Costa.
like Tony Robbins.
This
No,
is a
Tony
new
Robbins.
positive Costa.
No. Here's my problem with
Where
Tony
is he,
Robbins.
bro? You had a
okay?
kid, and this is it now. We got Costa Robbins.
I gotta be
going hard.
positive for the kid.
We got Costa
Here's my
Robbins
problem.
pumping
Here's my
out.
problem with Tony Robbins.
All right.
Tony Robbins got rich and famous by being a motivational speaker. What did he do? If he did something, fine. He got famous by saying he did it. Okay.
Yeah.
The Rock did it. Okay. And now he's Schwarzenegger did it.
Yeah.
And they're telling, I want people who did it. Like all these life coaches, they're 20 years old, and I see on my Instagram and Facebook, hey guys, I'm a life coach. For what? Are you kidding?
Public? No, they call themselves public figures, Costa.
Yeah.
They're a public figure on Instagram.
You know why you're saying that? Because you ain't got no job and you think this is easy and you're like, oh, let's do this. You're a joke, people. Come on.
I got to release. I think I should one day just have a story. We're going to get DB Vault, Danny, you hearing this, and I'm going to really open up. I'm going to create a piece on some of the real sacrifices that happen, because I have pictures of like how I looked after fights and how I was going into work with sunglasses because both eyes were swollen. I have a gash in my head into here, stitches all over my eye. Like, people have to understand what hard work takes to get that. So we're going to do a video. Danny, I know you're listening.
I think that's really important. Yeah, I'm here.
But we're going to do a video on that, because I think people need to really see what hard work and dedication and sacrifice and some of these people in these sports do it. But the other thing that's been driving me nuts, and this is my little rant lately, is not giving enough respect to the guy who gets knocked out. I don't think there's enough respect, and there's got to be a lot more respect for it. And I mean, we'll save this for another topic, because I'm gonna go off on it, because we can go.
I got a lot of talk, man. I hate disrespect. You know what? Do what you want before the fight.
Yeah.
But not do what you want, because the Khabib, I'm still there's limits to cross. But after, you know what? Respect. You can trash talk, you can do whatever, but you can still do it where you have respect for your opponent, because only you two guys in that moment know what you're going through. And it's like, you guys you're in the same space. You're doing the same thing, man.
No, it's I know what you're saying, but I'm talking more of just, where's the worry? Where's the reach out?
I hate when the guy's twitching on the ground and the guy's celebrating, jumping on the cage. No, because go see your opponent.
No,
man.
That's fine. It's fine, because you know what? I've done it. You get hyped. The adrenaline's there. You get motivated. You do it. But I mean, it's the every surrounding of it that it's been bothering me. Like, because you're at the fights, and I see all these fights all the time. The main concern, and I was at an event yesterday, and this is why it's fresh in my mind, because I was just telling someone about it. But while the guy was knocked out, okay, the ref's counting, that's fine. He was obviously knocked out, so the doctor could have been at least 5 seconds quicker if he was there. But while he was unconscious, they took his gloves off to make sure they gave it to the guy running so the next fight can get ready. Like, at least let the guy wake up before you take your gloves off, because the show needs to get going. I've been at an event, Costa, where my guy, okay, knocked out his opponent, and it was one of the worst knockouts I ever seen. I think we even have the clip.
I was there.
Yeah, we have the clip, and we'll get Danny to even put it into the video, because we'll find it somehow so people can see what we're talking about.
Danny loves the extra
work. What you're gonna see is, as the guy was, you don't see this in the video, but the guy was unconscious and he fell through the ropes. They literally picked him up while he was unconscious and put him on the floor to get the next fight going. I was in the corner yelling, screaming. I ran over. People wanted to fight me. Referees were in my face. I was so mad that they touched him and moved him out of the ring and put him on the floor, that even me and my guys there, were so concerned. I freaked. I yelled. I was running out.
You've seen some of these people who run these shows, Joe. You've seen some of these goons who run these shows.
That's at the smallest level, but even at the highest level, people, if you're watching, like, even if there's a knockout of the year, give the guy the respect and love and that they deserve.
We're even concerned about the guy's safety, bro.
Anything. We're not savages. Yeah. It's a sport. Still respect the guy, who's putting his body, his brain on the line for you to be entertained. So that was my rant.
I want to go into that another show. Let's go into that. That's heavy. Yeah,
because it really bothered me, like, seeing that, like, those little things piss me off now that I'm on the other side of it as a coach. I'm on the side of someone who's had a lot of concussions in the sport. So I think things and little small things like that people need to be educated, and things need to change.
Anyways, we can't do questions. We're like 36 minutes, and my computer's about to lose battery.
It's all right, Danny. Throw a few in. What do we got?
I'm gonna lose battery.
Well, we can.
We're gonna lose the whole podcast.
Well, there's
Are
quite
we
a
gonna do
few.
this as a podcast? Anyways, we'll talk about that after.
We'll talk about that after.
There's quite a few. Do you want to talk about strength, or do you want to talk about what you just talked about?
Why don't we do the next show just all questions, Joe?
Well, actually,
okay.
I do have one comment.
No one's listening at this point, anyways. It's 36 minutes in.
Costa, where you gotta go, man? Why are you freaking out?
Because I don't want to lose it. Yes, that's why I literally said my battery's dying.
I understand that. Where's your charger? I'll entertain people while you go get your charger for 10 seconds.
I'm not close to a plug, Joe.
Okay. All right. So my microphone almost fell. Karma.
There we go.
Karma.
Also, no one's listening at this point.
Good. So no one saw the microphone hit my chin.
Well, I have one comment if you guys want to go off on it, because the comment kind of similar to your topic.
Okay, I'm at 13%.
13%. Bro, you got like 6 hours with 13%.
Bro, when my phone goes like less than 70%, I start.
We would have answered 2 questions. The people have waited. What about the people who waited this long? Maybe they listened to some question and answer.
Nobody's waited this long.
All right.
We're talking to ourselves.
Here's a comment.
I've enjoyed it though, Joe. I've had a nice conversation.
Because me and you could talk seriously for about 40 minutes. Because usually we can't talk seriously ever. We get to pretend and to be smart and educated.
Well, we got to be a little bit politically correct. No one needs to hear a conversation. If they heard our conversations outside of this, we'd be in some serious trouble.
Seriously.
Anyways.
All right.
Okay, so you're out with the questions. No one's getting questioned.
Yeah, we'll do it next time. Coming up.
What I'll do is absolutely. What I'll do is on my social media we'll put a picture up, and we'll get people to comment and post all the questions, and then me, you, and Danny can go through and see which one's got some good ones for us to answer.
Nice.
Boom.
All right, we'll do that.
All right,
and then I can actually prepare for the questions.
And I'm gone next week, So I'm going to France.
Oh yeah. So we'll do one when you're back, maybe Monday.
Yeah, this will be out, and then when I come back, because we got Glory 60 in France. Boom, boom.
That's heavy.
I'm excited.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
I won't see you or talk to you before then. Thank you, Costa. I appreciate it.
I know, yeah.
It's like it's official now. You know what? I will not talk to you. Only now I will speak to you only on the podcast. That's it. No more will I ever message you on text messaging again.
Not every 10 minutes.
This is a pleasant Costa. This is a nice, positive, he was goal setting and he's motivated. Just wants to change the world, because if I could change, Costa, you could change. We could all change. That's so
Adrian, funny. We did it.
You did it. All right, guys. Costa, say give Big Nicholas a little hug for me.
We're going to tell people that you were going to audition to be Drago's son in Creed, or are we going to save that one?
We'll save it. We'll save it for a story.
Okay.
I should.
Just a little tickle that one. All right. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. All righty.
All right.
And we out.
Peace.